All of you sitting on your asses on your computer screens, you bunch of nerds, were expecting a British Fist WrestleMania 29 review.
Hell no!
That will not be happening tonight.
We all have.
Oh, for God's sakes, you ruined it! Oh my goodness!
Oh,
We
no.
may as well just reveal ourselves now.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
The Tea Time guys are members of the Aces and Eights. And it would have worked if it wasn't for you ruining the damn promo segment we were going to do. While we're here, we might as well reveal everything. Well, as soon as the British Fist called us on their mobile phone, whatever they have, we knew they would cave in and invite the Tea Time guys, us, the Tea Time guys, the main draw of the British Fist.
And it's glad to be back here in the YWC.
And we were going to ruin the British Fist, we were going to ruin their channel, we were going to ruin their WrestleMania review. Oh, for God's sakes, the plans and chapters, I don't know what to do. Where is Nathaniel? Where is he? I'm so scared. I don't know what to do. What's going on? What's going on?
Fucking others, mortal! Don't you think you come back? Cause boys, British Fist, Tea Time segment guys are through.
It's the biggest time of the year in WWE's calendar, which means it's the biggest time of the year on the British Fist calendar. We are the British Fist.
Catching!
Mr. Parkin here. NJ here. Advertisement for Monster, of course, for this year's WrestleMania, sponsored by... Like this video, subscribe to us up above or down below, wherever it is. And make sure you put your comments on this year's WrestleMania down in the comment section below.
And with this being the biggest event it is, we hope to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to start off with a big rant. My boy didn't make it to the card. Didn't even make it to the pre-show. His match got nixed. What a bunch of bullshit, man.
That's the thing. You advertise it to be one of the matches tonight. It was the match that could quite easily be on the pre-show and replace what we're about to talk about, but it didn't even make it anywhere.
Let's just give our quick thoughts on the pre-show. The pre-show was an hour long. I actually thought this pre-show was pretty good. You know, they had that like NFL-type pre-match panel in the stadiums with Kofi Kingston, Dusty Rhodes, Jim Ross, and Scott Stanford. Video packages and backstage interviews of the various matches because, let's face it, we didn't really get that many backstage interviews during the show.
The sad thing about this, I felt an hour was a bit too long, especially with the match when we're going to get to didn't really last long at all. So I really felt that it was a place we could have had at least 2 matches instead of so many video packages that we got to see at WrestleMania itself.
Miz versus Barrett was our pre-show match for the Intercontinental Championship. Match went 5 minutes, not very long. Miz wins with the figure 4. To be honest, Barrett hasn't been a great champion, so I really don't mind Miz winning with the figure 4. At least it got a nice pop from the crowd, so I'll say.
Cesaro won the US on the pre-show. Miz wins the IC on the pre-show. Why are we having title changes on the pre-show instead of having them actually on the pay-per-view where it's going to mean more and get to be seen more?
It's a good point. So let's move on to the actual WrestleMania 29 card. We opened up, surprisingly enough, not with the World Heavyweight Championship match, but with the Shield versus Sheamus, Big Show, and Orton. Sheamus opening his second WrestleMania in a row. And this was the first of 2 matches on this card, or many matches on this card, actually, where the Smart Mark crowd were booing the faces more than they were booing the heels.
And with this match being the opener, I looked at it and thought, okay, not the match I would have done, but the match itself was quite strongly done. I enjoyed it. Probably one of the best matches we got. And the big thing that stood out for me was I think it was booked correctly with the right winners.
Yeah, it was a solid opener. It went about 11 minutes, which was one of the longest matches on the card until we got to the Punk Taker match. Ambrose got a large pop when he came out. Shield were way more over. He had a great spot, in my opinion, with the Big Show spear. and the Orton top rope RKO. Orton tags himself in ahead of Big Show. He loses to Dean Ambrose, I believe. Big Show doesn't help because he didn't get tagged in. And after the match, we have Big Show knocking out Sheamus and Orton. Looks like he may be staying heel, maybe a Randy Orton program or something.
This is the thing, because there's many ideas, and plus, yeah, the announcers and the Raw before WrestleMania teasing Orton possibly turning on his team, going heel. But the WWE decided to make Big Show's face turn not happen, keep him as a heel, and feud him with either Sheamus, which we've already seen, or more differently, Orton. And
let's face it, a Big Show Orton feud hasn't really ever happened, so at least it's fresh. I expected a little bit more from the Shield here, from the storyline standpoint, but didn't really get much.
Well, the fact they won at WrestleMania, do expect there to be a reason or for them to keep bringing themselves up to a higher place.
Mark Henry versus Ryback. I was surprised this was second on the card. The crowd were popping for Henry, but booing Ryback. Another match where they were cheering the heels more than the faces. Just disappointing, in my opinion, especially for Ryback, who's an up-and-coming babyface who's lost at every pay-per-view since Money in the Bank as well. So it's hardly like people can complain he's winning too much.
Well, with a fan like me that doesn't agree with Ryback as much as I could have done, this match, it went down in a way that was a bit unexpected, especially for Ryback, who needs to look as strong as he needs to. Because basically, he almost hits the shell shock. Mark Henry squashes him for the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I actually, you probably saw this from me, I actually legitimately marked out for the first time in the night when Ryback had Henry up for the shell shock, and all of a sudden Henry's weight just collapses on Ryback and he gets the victory. Was very surprised Ryback didn't win here. I really felt that with his pay-per-view loss streak going back to Money in the Bank, I really felt he needed a big win here. But at the same time, this finish allows the next match that they have to feel a little bit bigger, and for maybe Ryback to get a little bit of a bigger win.
I personally think this win was more, because we've had this for over a year now. Mark Henry was thinking of leaving the WWE, and maybe this was a reason. We'll give you the win at WrestleMania and the lose probably at Extreme Rules. That probably made Mark Henry more comfortable. But the big thing that stood out is even though Ryback lost, he hit the shell shot, which makes up for, or WWE's way of making up for, Ryback losing.
Awesome to see Ryback actually hit the shell shock on Mark Henry, especially seeing as a lot of people said, oh, Ryback's going to botch. Well, suck it, you haters. And it looks like this feud is continuing as well, which I'm perfectly happy with.
Could be an idea, because Ryback does need something different than being involved with the Shield, and going against Mark Henry, who still needs a dominant place in the WWE. Putting over Ryback is definitely the way to go.
Tag title match was next. Dolph Ziggler and Big E Langston versus Team Hell No. This match was a sufferer from lack of time. It only got 6 minutes, so it was decent for what it was, but it never really got the time to become a good match. Even though we had the whole Ziggler and AJ pre-match kiss, making fun of the 18 seconds lost last year. At least we got to see a bit of Big E Langston in there versus Kane, which I did enjoy. Daniel Bryan ends up getting the pin on Ziggler after 6 minutes. Just a little bit short, really.
I think they've gone past breaking up Team Hell No now. I think because they're over, the fans seem to like them. Not all fans, but I think they're going to keep on going, keep on defending their championships. With Ziggler and Langston lost, if once Kane drops the title, a Kane and Langston feud would be definitely a way to go if they're going to keep Kane face.
Indeed. And then next on, Chris Jericho versus Fandango. Entrances are pretty good here. The Fandango's entrance with all the dancers I felt was pretty good. Jericho got a nice pop from his entrance, the biggest pop of the night to that point. The match as well, I was very happy that Jericho actually tried to work the crowd, because the crowd was beginning to die slightly. You had Jericho kick out of Fandango's leg drop. Fandango gets the roll-up fluke win. You know, I'm not surprised Fandango won here purely because it's his debut, and if you want to really set a character going, you have to have him win his debut match at WrestleMania. You just have to. You can't afford to have him lose.
I felt this match weren't the best. Like, Jericho obviously, in my opinion, played most of the match, doing his part in this. I say Jericho was the man of this match. Fandango getting the win, I don't agree. I still stick to what I've said all along. But the way it went down, I don't think it was the best match for these two. The right guy winning, some people's opinion, but I think Jericho did it for me.
I felt it was a decent match with a bit of a botched finish, but I think Fandango is going to have a lot more to offer to WWE than Chris Jericho is probably going to leave in a couple of months, which is why I think Fandango should have won this, despite the fact that a lot of people maybe don't think he should.
And this gives Jericho yet another loss in his career at WrestleMania for the second year, and I don't think this is doing Jericho any good for his future, whoever he puts over next, if he's going to put over anyone next, if he's going to come back. So I really think doing another one of those, Jericho wins here, Fandango wins next, could have been a different way to go.
Jack Swagger versus Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight Championship. No, I was really looking forward to this match. I felt this could have been a real asset to the card. You had that full-out heel promo by Zeb Coulter. The match itself I felt was pretty solid. Just felt we could have done with a little bit more time and a bit of a better crowd. I think those were the two things that kind of let this match down. Maybe stopped it from being a good match, in my opinion.
I'm going to get to more about this later, but Zeb Coulter's promo was needed, but there'll be more details on why it was needed later. The match itself, it went down the way it should. You had the interference of both parties. You had Jack Swagger looking like the dominant guy, Alberto Del Rio picking up the win. I think the way this went down, yes, with the tag match being before the World Heavyweight, it did put the thought in people's mind of a Ziggler cash-in. But with Del Rio winning, I guess Swagger's got to find a way to get his next match.
Yeah, I expected Del Rio to win here purely because they're really trying to get him over as that Latino Hispanic babyface. So I definitely expected him to win this match, and maybe they're going to continue this on to Extreme Rules where they have a submission match or something. To all the people out there that were saying Ziggler should have cashed in, I'm sorry, but would it have been that great of an idea for Dolph Ziggler to cash in on a perfectly healthy Alberto Del Rio? I mean, come on, guys.
Even though if he did cash in or try to fight a worthy up-fighting Del Rio, I give that compliments because everyone's cashing in when someone's weak. If Ziggler came out and actually put up a fight against someone that had some strength in him, maybe it will make us believe in Ziggler more instead of doing the cheap heel way that's been going on for years. If he actually put on a fight before cashing in and losing or cashing in and winning, it would have been different and made Ziggler look better.
I really didn't think it was needed here. I really think they can get a bit more out of this feud. I just don't think Ziggler's cash-in was needed at WrestleMania. I really think people are stupid to think that. But there we go. To CM Punk versus Undertaker. I think we can fair say there's no real surprise to me, really. This was the match of the night. We had the live performance from Living Colour. Great performance. Some rock-themed performances. Taker's graveyard entrance with all the hands coming out from the crowd. The crowd were fucking hot for this one, weren't they? You had CM Punk fans chanting, Undertaker fans chanting. This had the crowd reaction of a big-time WrestleMania match.
The thing I liked about this is that they gave CM Punk, a guy that the WWE, I can see they're really trying to keep him important. They gave him the band there as a surprise and something going on there. Taker's entrance, again, Taker's possible leaving somewhere down the line, make his entrance look good, and he is Taker after all. The match, good spots here and there. Yes, there was a table spot which didn't break.
Yeah.
They had their spots throughout the match that you need in a match like this to give you, oh my god, could this be over? Oh my gosh, Punk did that to Taker, or Taker did that to Punk. I think they did a few spots in there to keep the interest there.
Considering how predictable this match was going to be, we all knew CM Punk wasn't going to win the streak. The crowd were really into it. If the match was so predictable, the crowd probably wouldn't have gone into it. When I believe it was one point when CM Punk was pinning Undertaker after I believe it was a GTS, the crowd were actually going over the guardrail in anticipation. That's a good thing. This was a good match. Taker wins to the Tombstone. I felt the match was really good. I guess my issue is it didn't feel like a special WrestleMania win, maybe because we knew there wasn't a chance in hell of Punk winning, but still a good match and a real asset to this WrestleMania card, in my opinion.
I think the spots helped to make the match, even though we had the predictability of Taker winning, the spots when Punk did the old school, Taker breaking out of the Anaconda device. I think stuff like that made it. But I just think this match, because of what it was, yes, it's done and over with now. It's done, Taker disappeared, but for that reason, it was a good match on the card.
Yeah, and we knew Undertaker was going to win at the end of the day, and we also knew they were going to do something with Paul Bearer in the urn, which they kind of did at the end. Thought they'd maybe put Paul Bearer on the Titantron or something, but
talk about that quickly. I do question because after the match, Paul Heyman disappeared. He was nowhere. The urn was left there, thinking, "Oh, Punk lost. Here you go, Taker. You can have your urn back." I was like, why didn't you just run away with it, Paul? Where did you disappear to?
All part of storytelling, NJ. And the babyface always gets his revenge in the end. In this case, Undertaker and Paul Bearer. Next match on the card. And the match placing of this really didn't help the match. Triple H versus Brock Lesnar in a no-holds-barred match with Triple H's career on the line. The crowd really needed a breather here because throughout this match, The crowd were dead. They were not reacting at all. That's a shame, really, because if this had a good crowd, this could have been a damn good match. But they really needed to give them some kind of break because the crowd were knackered after CM Punk and Undertaker.
Yeah, and that's where the match that was taken out of the card could have been here. But I think this match, it was a lot better than SummerSlam. I'm going to give it that. There was more spots. I'm not saying Shawn Michaels helped to make the match better than SummerSlam. I think it was more the maneuvers, how they both act in this. Yes, it was still slow picking up, but then the things happened, the weapons came in. The no holds barred aspect was a bit delayed, but overall it picked up.
Yeah, I mean, the match itself, the work, the story told here, you know, the Kimura by Triple H trying to break Brock Lesnar's arm while Brock was slamming him on the steps, you know, that was pretty good. You had Shawn Michaels getting an F5, Shawn super kicking Heyman. There was all sorts going on here, and it would have come off so much better if the crowd reacted. But unfortunately, believe due to bad time management and bad card structuring, the crowd just didn't react to this, whether or not they didn't care or whether or not they didn't buy into the retirement angle, whether or not they were just tired from CM Punk and Undertaker. Whatever way it was, it did not help this match at all. Triple H wins after a sledgehammer shot and a pedigree on the steps. Are you really surprised that Triple H won this match? Because I'm not really surprised.
I said before, the stipulation is at the wrong time. I think to make Triple H's win bigger is if to change around. But I'm not surprised Triple H retained, because if Brock won, I think I would have seen a rematch at Extreme Rules.
I mean, Brock Lesnar's 2-1. No, 1-2 now at pay-per-views. He's lost 2, and he's won 1 at SummerSlam. It doesn't really do very much for Brock Lesnar. But at the same time, a lot of people are going to hate Triple H winning this, but it's storytelling 101. The heel gets one over on the babyface, and then the babyface wins at the big events. That's generally how these things work, no matter who you are. I'm just saying. Hall of Fame class. Really good one this year. Mick Foley, Trish Stratus, Bob Backlund, Bruno, Booker T, Donald Trump. I don't think he should. I hate the fact that at the Hall of Fame ceremony, people were booing Donald Trump, who actually did help WrestleMania in a business sense back when in its early days, and they booed Maria Menounos at the fucking Hall of Fame for it. I just fucking hate it when fans do that shit. I mean, for fuck's sake. Maria Menounos is a very close friend of Bob Backlund, and they were watching her at the Hall of Fame ceremony. What a bunch of fucking classless fucks.
To be honest, I look at this, and I think the whole celebrity wing, when we get to this, I don't always agree with it, but obviously they're trying to give thanks to people who've been involved. The Hall of Fame thing, yes, they showed a nice video package. They even showed the Trish part, and congratulations to her. And I just think it was good. You had a nice roundup of the Hall of Famers. So for that, I give a round of applause for that.
Yeah, and Bad Boy got nixed from the card. So yeah. Main event time. This is probably the match you probably most want us to talk about. This had a lot of video packages. I think they had 3 video packages through the night. They didn't have any backstage interviews or anything like that. They just had video packages throughout the night. I would have really liked a Rock backstage promo. Bad time management, really. I mean, for fuck's sake. Couldn't have any backstage interviews for any of the matches apart from on the pre-show.
And I think with the finish of this match, which we'll get to at the end, you could have quite easily fit in a Rock promo, took out some video packages. Because when it comes to The Rock, you've had him last year and stuff, hyping up a match, hyping up moments, backstage segments. Why did you miss out? You gave Zeb earlier in the night a moment to speak on mic. But The Rock, the guy people want to hear on the mic, got nothing. And I just thought it was a bit disappointing for the main aspect of this WrestleMania.
Especially seeing it is the biggest match on the card. You've got to give it a big match feel. It really didn't have that big of a match feel because it felt like WWE's time management was really off on this WrestleMania. No surprise to hear Rock got a massive pop. Cena got very heavily booed. It's no real surprise. The problem's getting worse year by year. Last year he got booed quite heavily. He's getting booed even more this year. Took a long time for the crowd to get into this one. The crowd really weren't feeling this match for the first 15-20 minutes, were they?
It took them a while, but I think the main reason that was second in a lifetime, and they've just seen this once again. And the thing that really stood out for me here was that they were really trying to make it look like things were going to happen, but in the end, it weren't going to happen.
I think the thing that fucked me up about this match was the crowd were kind of dead for it. They were reacting here and there, but they weren't really reacting like a main event like they were last year. And, you had this massive finisher fest. You had about 5 AAs. You had about 10 times they tried to do an AA. They did the rock bottom about 5 times, people's elbow twice. And, It's like all these damn finishers. I mean, how the fuck are you supposed to buy a finisher ending a damn match when 5 of them doesn't fucking end it? I mean, this is one of the reasons why I can't get into ROH, because of all these damn false finishes. And this really pissed me off. And I feel the performers out there felt they had to do this to try and get the crowd involved because they were dead throughout.
And that's the thing, because other people I've heard in past reviews have said that, oh, it's perfectly fine with the amount of finishers.
No, not in this one.
Like Punk and Cena it happened numerous times. But with this one, yes, they have to add something different to it. But I think with the aspect of what was involved near the end, taking away the amount of finishers, gave it that different feeling. But overall, the thing that we all predicted happened.
I understand they're trying to go all out with this match, and they're trying to make this feel like a match where both wrestlers are trying to do everything they can to win. But my God, how many damn finishers do they need to do before there's a damn pinfall? Cena finally gets the win after an after a massive finisher fest, and John Cena wins. And I guess that's going to be what's going to get the most reaction from this pay-per-view. Greatness versus redemption. John Cena wins. Are we really surprised? I'm not really surprised. I'm not all that pissed about it. Like I says on Twitter, I'm just going to accept it and move on because I knew that they were going to do this. Because Rock won last year. They couldn't afford their top guy to win 2 pay-per-views in a row. The ending was just a little bit stale. That's all I can really say. You know, Rock shaking his hand, passing. It really seemed like The Rock actually wanted to do this. And Cena was trying to give Rock some time in the ring and everything. And it really just seemed very awkward and odd.
I'm not buying this because frickin' hell, before WrestleMania, everyone was saying that, oh, we need a Cena heel turn to make this different. Yes, that was needed. But the only way I personally have done this is if Rock won. It was really, very stupid that they gave Cena the win. That's why I weren't looking forward to this match. Paid attention to the parts that were needed. But overall, John Cena frickin' winning. John Cena, fuck you. You're WWE's top dog. People complain about you each and every year. I bet you can go to the Vince McMahon saying, I don't want this, I don't want that, and they would give it to you because they love you. So this WrestleMania, I weren't buying anything. And plus, all those people that said you're turning heel, at the very end, for the last 5-10 minutes, they were showing you that Cena's never turning heel by hugging The Rock, shaking his hand, having a one-on-one talk, even coming out at the end for The Rock's last minute and raising hands. Absolutely ridiculous. Cena, well done. You're entering WWE's new calendar year as the champion.
You finished? Anyway, yeah, so Cena wins. Post your thoughts on that down in the comment section below. That's all I will say. What's your overall thoughts on this WrestleMania then, NJ? Do you think it was a good WrestleMania? Did you feel it lived to the hype? Do you think this is below expectations? Please take out your bias of John Cena in the overall thoughts, please.
I'm going to say this. When it comes to the WrestleMania, yes, I was going to this with the exact same thing I have now. They concentrated on the main 3 matches, and that's exactly what we got. The other matches, yes, they happened. They took place. But I didn't really feel they paid off. Yes, the Shield match was good. The other matches just felt like they were there and they did their purpose. The 3 main matches paid off. The card structure was bad. The gig, okay. P. Diddy spoke over the guest. It was just ridiculous. I say that W got what they wanted. The 3 main matches counted.
Yeah, the undercard was solid yet underwhelming. There wasn't really any massive surprises or massive moments here. Match of the night was definitely CM Punk versus Undertaker. Could have been a lot better had the crowd reacted a little bit more to the last 2 matches. Overall, I'd say a mediocre to underwhelming WrestleMania. Didn't really have that many expectations going into it, really. And what? The Tea Time guys. Terminator Ranger attacked the Tea Time guys. They were supposed to be here for the final part of this review, and Terminator Ranger attacked the Tea Time guys. What's going on?
We're going to get
Hold on. They're in hospital? They're dead. The Tea Time guys are dead. I mean, they're going to... Raw tomorrow. Should we dedicate that show to the Tea Time guys?
I'm lost for words.
Yeah. I'm lost for words on... Wow. That's really... Wow.
So for the fans, I want to apologise to you. This came for a shot. We were going to wrap up, but my mind can't think.
No. Leave your thoughts on the comment section below. We're really looking forward to having the Tea Time guys here. But Didn't happen.
And people, please share your thoughts. Give us the good, bad, ugly of WrestleMania. We need to head off as soon as possible. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.